Today we're going to be learning about making a winter fox. So what you're going to need is the template that I have here provided for us, or I will show you exactly where you can go is to this website, so that way you can pick up the template. The next thing that you need is some blue construction paper, white printer paper, scissors, a glue stick, and crayons or markers to color with. When we're done, I also have a movement break if we need in class, and that way we can make these fun pop-up winter foxes. Let's get started. As I was discussing in here, this is the template. So what we're going to do is cut the fox out. And the website, again, is right up here at the corner, so you can actually go to that website and download the template for free. And then we'll just need those pieces of paper, scissors, and obviously a glue stick. So on your paper, what I want you to do is cut out the shape of the fox. So whenever you're cutting, remember that one hand is holding and turning the paper, and the other hand has your scissors. The scissors are not really curving around an item. They don't really move. It's your other hand that turns the paper. So as you're doing it, sometimes it's hard to work and go around a shape. What I do is sometimes I will just cut off a big chunk of the paper, and that allows me to be able to go back and finish the rest of it, because it can get a little distracting or overwhelming when I want to cut off some of the other papers. So here, as you can see, I'm looking and going, how do I want to cut? That's a little too difficult for me. So I'll cut off all the extra paper, and then I can go back in and get that little extra slice between the fox and his tail out. So here I'm able to then go from the side and go all the way into the middle and cut that last little piece out. This part is the most important because at the end we're going to fold on those dotted lines, and then we will glue so it kind of pops up. You may recycle your scraps now, and then the next thing we're going to do is color in our fox. So you can use either a marker, or you can also use crayons. For this part of the project, I'm going to be using crayons, and I'm going to grab a variety of different colors. So in the box, you can see that there are many different types of oranges. So I'm going to grab as many different oranges as I have in there. Some are, I even grabbed a little bit of a brown if I want to use that too. You might have more of a yellowy orange or reddish orange, pure hue orange, etc. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first as I color, because it helps with adding on the darker on top of it. It's always easier to go darker when you're coloring. It's really difficult to go back and make something lighter. So as I'm coloring this, think about where the color is touching. So I always push a little bit harder and outline first around all the edges. And it just helps when I go to color in my animal or object to stay inside the lines, as well as give a little bit of a neat variation. The other fun thing is using my crayon. I'm going in one direction to color in the direction of the tail, so it makes it look like it's part of the tail. And then what I can do is go in with a darker color, and wherever the tail is touching something against the dotted lines or the part that turns white for the tip of the tail, I'm just going to use that darker color, and I'm going to give a little bit of a shadow. This is optional, so you can choose whatever works best for you. So I might even take a little bit of a darker reddish orange here and just play and see if I like that pop a little bit more. So continue coloring in your fox, and then we'll add in some extra details. Now that we've finished coloring in our fox and adding in our lines of details or shadows, what we're going to do is add in our lines. So you can use a black marker, you can use a colored pencil, even a regular pencil or crayon, and we're just going to add some texture. So I went to go use my black marker here and it's already starting to fade. So I'm going to get a darker one so you can see in the video. And all we're going to do are these tiny little lines and dots so that way you can see the fur on our cute little foxes. So I always like to start with the face, and we're just doing a little row of a couple lines and then follow the way the head goes. So whenever I add lines and textures to an animal, I always think, how would you pet it? When you go to pet a dog, are you going to pet their nose going from their forehead down to their nose or from their nose up to their forehead? How do you pet a dog's head or a cat's head? So when I'm looking at the tail or, you can see the hip of the fox next, all I'm going to do is follow that curve. I look at where the lines are to help guide me. So that big curve, I'm going to follow those and kind of go around and going in the same direction as that line. And that just helps bring the fox a little bit more into life. Think about, some fur lines might be shorter, some might be longer on the outside edge. It's up to you. So that's what I'd like you to do right now. For this next part, we're going to use our glue stick. But when you look at the fox, you're going to see that there are these dotted lines. What I want you to do is try to fold on that dotted line and really give it a good, nice crease. You can use your nail to help on that too. And then the last little part, we're going to fold that up as well. So fold on that dotted line as best as you can. And what this is going to do is we're going to glue that little flap that we just did. So that way we can put the tail all the way up by the face and it just gives it a little bit of a pop, just like that. So using your glue stick, you don't need a lot. I'm just going to put a little bit on that one strip. And then I'm going to put the paper on top and I'm going to hold it for about 10 seconds. This just really helps it stick a lot better. So I'm going to push it down on the table and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now that it's done, you can see that it's holding it and keeping it together. So what I'm going to now do is take my blue paper out, and it's just a 9 by 12 piece of paper. And I'm going to think about, where do I want to put my fox on here? So using my white paper, I want to put my fox on top of some snow. So I'm just going to rip this paper and I'm going to turn it into a little bit of a big snow pile. Now I know it's a blue paper and you're probably wondering, it looks like water. Well, yeah, but sometimes snow can have blue shadows and different things, and it doesn't even have to be green bottom paper or black or anything. And if you want to tell the story that this little fox is on a journey on an iceberg, you could do that too. So, what I want you to do is just glue on these different pieces of snow and place them on your paper. And you can also glue your fox down and then work around that. And finally, you can add in some fun details on the ground if you want grass peeking through or anything else.